Hello, I am Baby Dino, and I'm here today joined with my friend Mokuba. Say hi.
Hello.
There you
Hi.
go. There you go. He's so well trained, isn't he? I'm
Frank.
sorry, I couldn't help myself. So yeah. Anyway, so this video is going to be slightly different to what I normally do, which is basically record myself playing games. So you probably won't see my mug. So that's probably a relief for most of you.
It is. It really is.
If you can't tell, this guy watches my videos as well. So
I do. I'm like your number one viewer
yeah, you probably are in all
and
honesty.
commenter. Yeah, just comment on all your videos.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so this video is going to be a what if scenario sort of deal. So we take a movie or anime or TV show or whatever. We take one section of it, change it around a little, and then see how that affects the entire story. So an example would be we could take Lord of the Rings, change something in that, and then see how that goes. You guys probably know what I'm on about. Mokuba doesn't.
Nope.
He really doesn't.
No Lord.
Yeah,
No
don't worry.
Lord of the Rings
I'll be
knowledge.
sure to try and get him educated if we ever go around to that. But
Yeah.
for now, we are going to do the most profound and intellectual thing we can do. Talk about an anime that probably everyone's heard or not.
Yeah.
That
And
seems smart, right?
yeah, with this anime, there's so much stuff you could. So many things you can make up or do anything with.
Yeah.
I think this is
So
a good first choice.
yeah, good first choice. I mean, with anime, you can do a hell of a lot. Like
Yeah.
yeah, and even if we don't go with one of the major titans, which for this one we are, so
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
ballsy
Yeah.
here.
But we're not doing a kind of, but we're doing a main character, but they didn't get as much light what they should have, in my opinion, because it's one of my
Yeah,
favorite
because
characters.
let's be honest, this character, because we're gonna make it a bit suspenseful, is
Oh,
basically a real fan favorite in my opinion.
they won't find out from the thumbnail or the title. No, no.
Shh, don't tell them. They'll look it up. So yeah. Anyway, so the as we all what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the world of Naruto, which me and Mokuba are fans of. So we
Yeah.
both somewhat know what we're talking about. If you guys, want to add anything in the comments, go for it.
Yeah.
And if we can make another video of this, which hopefully we can, shouldn't be too bad, we'll try and cover it and go on from there.
Yeah, we tried to cover in as much detail, but I'm pretty rusty because I haven't watched Naruto in a while. But I've got my Wikipedia's up. I'm ready.
Good for you, mate. Okay, so just saying we're going to keep it to, let's say, the Naruto era for now until it gets up to Naruto's graduation from the academy, and then maybe a bit beyond that.
Yeah. We're all in the Naruto arc, not in Naruto Shippuden, are we? Or are we going to Naruto Shippuden as well?
If
Or are we
we've
gonna?
got time for it, maybe we can go further, but for now we'll just go with the general broad strokes of how it goes, yeah?
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
So the situation, as you all know, when Naruto was born, Kubi was ripped out by Toby, so I won't spoil it, so I'll keep to...
I think there's going to be quite a lot of spoilers in here, George.
Yeah, I know,
I-
but
We'll
they
try to, yeah, but this is
but
just
if people
big
haven't
spoiler
seen it, then
alert.
they can go off, watch it. It'll probably take them a while, or just get
Oh, yeah.
the broad strokes of it and then come back, whatever.
We haven't even told them what character we're talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm getting
Oh,
there.
you're getting there. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Building suspense. So yeah, anyway, so after that, the Kubi goes on a rampage because of Toby. Minato comes along, manages to grab Kushina and Naruto out of there. And then, of course, one thing led to another where Minato used the Reaper Death Seal on himself to seal half of the Kubi into himself and then the other half into Naruto. And then both the mother and father, Minato and Kushina, die. And of course, everything plays out as normal. So
Yep.
what we are going to do is we are going to change it. Now, admittedly, this has been sort of explored in a filler episode. I believe both Minato and Kushina survive, and it sort of goes on from there. It's that dream sequence for Tsunade, I believe.
Yeah, very big filler arc that was.
Yeah, that's the thing with Naruto. Great story, but quite a few
So
fillers.
much filler.
Yeah,
Some
you
of the
may
filler
like
is
it,
good
you may
though.
not, but you know. So what we're gonna change is that instead of Minato sealing half of it into himself, we are going to change that so it's Kushina, so that from this she's able to live on because, you know, Jinchurikis in this universe cannot live.
But technically, in the original series, she did live without the Nine Tails because Toby extracted it, remember? And she was
Yes.
perfectly fine for a bit.
She was
But
fine
will
for a bit
Toby be in
because
this
of
like
her, you know, Uzumaki-ness.
circumstance? Will the
Wait.
Toby thing ever happen, or would like Minato sense him coming and defeat him or something before, or
I
would it play as
believe that
normal?
For this setup, we are going to go for. Toby has already extracted it. She's alive for a little bit.
Ah, okay.
Minato puts it back into her, so she's alright. So,
But they just don't get killed by the Nine Tails.
yeah, so Kushina is still alive. But
Okay.
Minato, because of the Reaper Death Seal, is gone.
So
Okay?
Toby gets away still, or no? I know this doesn't matter, but I'm just trying to paint a picture for me.
Yeah. It's better if
Okay.
we be specific with this.
Yeah.
So Toby is still gets away, but
Gets away,
the end
yeah.
result is Kushina is alive with half of the Nine Tails
Okay.
in her, and Naruto is the new joint Jinchuriki, I guess.
I guess.
Because
But-
that's sort of the setup, isn't it?
But are we going down the route of before Naruto was born, because her dream was to become the first female Hokage? Are we gonna make her the Hokage in this thing, or are we gonna leave that out? Or are we
Yeah.
gonna say she's the Hokage?
Well, honestly, okay. So moving, she most likely will be the Hokage. In all honesty, let's
Because
be serious
I think she
here.
gave up the Hokage because she was pregnant, but
Yes.
I don't see that about Kushina. I think she would have pushed for it and wanted to be Hokage and still dealt with being pregnant and having a baby.
Yeah. Well,
It's like-
yeah. So as you can see, we've talked about this before. So we're gonna try and push
Yeah.
it in that direction a little. I mean, it's not really that much of a stretch. Let's be
No,
honest.
no,
here.
no.
Let's do like a itinerary of who's there. So the third Hokage is there. Hiruzen Sarutobi. Obviously, he became Hokage after Kushina and Minato died in canon.
Yeah, but
So he was option one.
dead.
And then the other options was Jiraiya and Tsunade, and of course we basically all know what goes on there. Jiraiya has a spy network to look after, and Tsunade is going on a drunk gambling binge, I guess. in her
Yeah.
group. So you know, we'll just sweep her to the side for now. But yeah, so in this scenario, me and Mokuba completely and utterly agreed that Kushina will most likely become the Hokage, becoming the
Yeah, but this would be
female.
before Naruto was born, right?
I feel like Minato still would have become Hokage.
So what would you say before Naruto was born? It was Minato.
Yeah, but then after the events where Kushina...
She became Hokage. Does something happen to Minato? Or does he just
Oh,
want to?
no. Still, Minato still dies.
Oh, so you're. Oh, I thought. Oh, okay. That.
Yeah.
So he sacrifices himself, but he seals it inside of. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, did
All
I
right.
not make that
Oh no,
clear
no.
for you?
I think I was just thinking that they're still both alive. That's why I was getting confused. But no, that makes so much sense. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so the premise, that's the premise. Minato was Hokage, he dies, Kushina
So, yeah, instead of
survives with Naruto,
third
and
Hokage.
she becomes the Hokage for the time being.
Yeah. Because it was the third. Because he was like, I'll take my role back.
Yeah, obviously, he was probably the only
Mm.
one there.
So she would be the fifth Hokage instead of
Yeah.
Tsunade, and that would bump. Yeah. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, okay, so continuing on. So, at this point, Kushina and Naruto have been basically collected. Kushina would most likely tell Sarutobi what the hell happened.
Mm.
So,
Probably been upset because her husband died.
oh, yeah, obviously, there will be a thing where she's upset, obviously. But, you know, it's like the shinobi world, so it's... Obviously, she'll still grieve for it, but she'll probably focus more on Naruto at that point, considering he's now a Jinchuriki.
Oh yeah. But he was only he's a baby now.
Yeah,
So.
but still, she would try and, you know, keep him around. That just made it sound like she's like,
Keep-
nope, I don't like this kid, throw him away.
Just send him off to dry already.
Right. Yeah. He'll
Just
get a
calls
great
him up.
education from him. Okay, Naruto, what we're gonna do today is sneak into this hot spring and not get caught.
Apparently, women likes babies.
Oh yeah, he could probably pull a few moves with Naruto around if he's still a baby. Oh my god. Oh, we're getting off track here.
There we are. Okay,
Yeah,
Kushina.
okay,
She's
so-
the main
Okay,
point.
so at this point, Kushina is probably going to end up being the Hokage.
Mm.
And Sarutobi most likely becomes her advisor because, let's be honest, ex-Hokage will probably know what he's doing, yada 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 yada.
Yeah.
So that's the ruling setup sorted. So then from there, it's pretty much just discussing what happens up to his graduation, and if we have time, we can try and go over that.
Yeah.
So
Juggling
things
responsibilities of Hokage and being a parent, I guess that would be the first thing, wouldn't it?
yeah, obviously she'd still be a parent. So, like in the new series with Naruto, Boruto,
Oh, gosh.
I've heard snippets of it. I've seen a couple clips, but honestly, I stay away from it mostly.
Yeah, I haven't got into it, but the stuff I've seen, like all the stuff Naruto's been through, why? Like,
Yeah, a
on
lot
his
of it
daughter's
doesn't make
birthday.
much sense. Yeah. So
Not a good parent
yeah, he
in our eyes.
yeah
But
yeah.
that's all
It
we
just
watched,
doesn't make
so-
sense for his character to be like that. So so if you can guess what we're on about where Naruto sends a clone off to his daughter's birthday. That is right? His daughter's.
Yeah. And instead of him going himself,
He gets
he
the shadow
sends-
clone to do it. So basically, with Kushina, she'd do it in the opposite way. So she would send the clone to the Hokage's office to sort paperwork out because shadow clones remember everything that they do and send
They
it
do.
to the caster. So Kushina would have a very hands-on approach with Naruto, which would make some pretty interesting results. Let's all be honest here.
and like when she's like, well, when they get to training as well, because
Yeah,
she's an
is going to be a
Uzumaki.
taskmaster with that, isn't she?
she's actually Uzumaki, and the Seals, aren't they? They're really
yeah,
good.
they
with-
are complete enough as Seals Masters, and since they are cousins to the Senju, you can get a very good idea of.
So Naruto would be leading down that path instead. What I would think it would be really, really cool.
Yeah, so of course Naruto would still learn the Rasengan, most likely Shadow Clones, at a very young age, because again Uzumaki.
Yeah,
Honestly, a lot of our explanation for a lot of it is probably going to be because Uzumaki, he's an Uzumaki, he can take this.
Because I think all the Jirai stuff would happen,
Oh
but
yeah,
it would have
obviously,
more
that would
interactions
happen
with
much earlier, and
Kushina and stuff. Yeah, 'cause they would have like more interactions and stuff because
Yeah.
how close Minato and Jirai was.
yeah, obviously, and so of course from that point on, Naruto would probably go through his life. He'd probably have some problems, not like face on, like
Oh,
he did
no,
when
no,
he
no.
was alone by himself. You know, the angry, the stares, yada yada. It would most likely be controlled, as it were, because since
Yeah.
his mom is the Hokage at this point, he wouldn't have to deal with it as much. He'd probably still
No.
notice it and probably still feels the way he does in canon, but it'd be
I don't think as well that a lot of people would treat him differently as well, because Kushina would be the Hokage and she would have half the Nine Tails in her as well, so they wouldn't think it was really a monster, I think.
possibly, but the way the Naruto universe has been set up,
Mm.
they have to do some pretty major things to convince them otherwise.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
doable,
she's
but
the Hokage and stuff. I guess. Well,
yeah,
unless, because there's always going to be people like, oh, you're bad Hokage and stuff.
yeah, obviously, but for this setup, I
Yeah.
believe that's how it would go down. There were still some, people who don't really like him, but they
But
keep to
I-
themselves and don't
yeah.
really do much. Naruto still notices it and realizes how bad it can be, but
But I
And-
think
and
like
I would. Sorry, but I feel like Naruto would know why they're doing that to him because
yeah, and I
Kushina
think
would
there would
obviously
be
not hide that from him. Like,
so funny, more funny moments about like Kushina sticking up for him and stuff.
yeah,
Like because like she gets mad and stuff so easily.
Oh yeah, there is a reason why she's called the red hot blooded habanero, was it?
I think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's her nickname.
Because like anytime Naruto's like crying from home, she'll just go.
Oh yeah,
She'll
oh yeah.
like go straight to
She'd
the house.
probably have like super hearing when it comes to him. Just like even a slight peep of a sniffle, she just smashed through a freaking wall and just like, who made my son cry?
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah. So from this, yeah. So moving on from that rather hilarious scene,
Yeah.
Naruto, when it comes to his training, would obviously get some sealing training done from most likely a mix of Kushina and Jiraiya.
Mm.
Because let's face it, Jiraiya would probably most likely visit now and again, talk to Kushina and Naruto,
Yeah.
be there as it were. Not too sure why he didn't do that in canon, but it's probably a
Yeah.
reason with his spy network and all that. But you know, go from
Mm.
there. And I also feel like Kushina may reach out to Tsunade and maybe be able to persuade her back.
Yeah. But
Maybe.
then
I feel
not
like that's
as
something
the
she may be able
Hokage.
to do.
More like as a like the head medical person, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and probably build up that whole one medic nin, one
Mm.
med nin in each team.
Yeah. Because
Kushina will probably be all for that, and she
Mm.
would most likely win in that case.
are we gonna bring back like in the original series, Minato sealed some of his chakra and Kushina's chakra into Naruto, like the seal, so Naruto could communicate to them whenever. I think. Are we gonna do that with Minato?
Yeah, I feel like Minato would do that anyway for Naruto seal, obviously. But
Yeah.
with Kushina, since she's still alive,
Oh yeah, no, not with Kushina. I just meant with Minato.
yeah, obviously with
'Cause
Minato that would still happen.
I know Kushina would still like tell stories about the like Minato and stuff. Because
so that would still happen. So yeah, anyway, so Naruto would most likely have training as before, probably refined it so he'd be a better fighter. A
Yeah.
couple more jutsu, Shadow Clone included, because
and Kushina could help him control the Nine-Tails Fox more and everything.
yeah. Although for story's sake, he probably shouldn't be ridiculously strong. Like he should, he'd
Oh,
most
no.
likely be able to identify if and when it happens and know to deal with it as it were. Like
Yeah.
I feel like he could maybe safely use the chakra in small bursts. Like his fight with Neji.
Oh yeah.
That something like that.
But will he ever get out of control, or will Kushina like prepare him for that?
I feel like in some situations maybe. Like
Yeah.
with the wave arc, like I feel like if the situation that leads up to that is similar, then very possibly yes.
That would be cool because I think in this like scenario, I think Kushina should, instead of locking up who was the Nine-Tails, like 'cause she always just locked him up and never really harnessed his power.
To try and use it.
I think in this thing she should try to, because I think that would be so cool. Like, while she's the Hokage, she could start
She's going to
harnessing the
need that
power.
extra power boost. Obviously, she would have attempted to try and control it and so on and so forth. So she would most likely share what she's learned herself with Naruto. So
A big help with the Nine-Tails situation and stuff. Yeah.
obviously. So Naruto, up to graduation, would most likely be a somewhat decent seal expert. Not like expert, like he'd probably be able to do exploding tags, storage seals, stuff like that. Very
Simple.
very basic stuff. Nothing massive, but very basic stuff at the very least. So he's competent in basic traps and stuff like that. And Naruto personality-wise would probably still more or less be the same. Probably
Yeah,
still
I
happy.
doubt he'll have
Probably
too much,
smarter because let's be honest, Kushina will beat it into him.
Yeah, and I doubt he'll have like too many like down moments and stuff.
Not too many, but
Like he would still have a bit, cause
obviously, and he would most likely talk it out with his mother, and his mother would help
Yeah.
him out and all that. But not as much, but still profound. Yeah. So Naruto at graduation at this point knows what his stuff. Somewhat intelligent. He knows the Shadow Clone jutsus. Maybe a couple more that's Uzumaki sort of centered
Yeah.
and have some control over, well, not control, but management over the Kubi's chakra at that point. So
Yeah.
Naruto at that point would probably be okay. Like, he'd definitely be a hell of a lot stronger and smarter than he was in canon.
He would be, yeah, because his mum's help. Huh?
Yeah, so since we basically covered Naruto, let's go over a couple of the other characters that we feel that would be affected by this as well. So, first one that basically popped into our heads first time was Anko.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure of the timeline, but I believe somewhere between after Naruto was born and before his graduation, like most likely when he was a kid, Anko was being trained by Orochimaru, and Orochimaru left the village. Obviously, at this point, since Kushina is the Hokage, she would most likely have fought him,
Yeah.
and probably do a hell of a lot of damage to him. But I still feel like Orochimaru would still have some sort of backup plan to escape, basically without a hitch.
Oh, yeah, he's a Orochimaru. He's still alive in Boruto.
Yep, that tells you pretty much everything, guys. But yeah, so, and I believe Anko would still somehow manage to end up with him unwillingly or being misled and so on and so forth.
Because yeah, she's like the Minato equivalent to Orochimaru. Because Jiraiya taught Minato and Orochimaru taught Anko.
Yeah, so obviously, so after that, Anko is then found again, obviously, and then brought back to the leaf. And of course, there's that stigma she suffers through with being the student of Orochimaru, yada yada yada.
Curse mark, yeah.
Yeah, but I believe at that, even before that happens, or as it's just about to happen, stuff like that, Kushina would probably intervene and sort of like take her on as her own, I believe.
Yeah.
Because, let's be honest, she's been a Jinchuriki, she knows what sort of stigma that would bring, and so can really
and because now I think she would be able to harness some of the Nine Tails now, because I'm guessing she'll be training with it.
Oh, yeah,
She could use some of that power to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously Minato would be a hell of a lot stronger, because let's face it, she will be, with the Nine Tails power. And, of course, with Uncle, she'll probably take her in, she'll have a meet up with Naruto and they'd hang out and she'd take her on, train her and so on and so forth. Just basically be there for her. So Anko would probably be in a much better position, I guess. Some stigma, but slightly better. And obviously more physically powerful, and I believe at the graduation point, Anko would probably be a proper Jonin, not a special Jonin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at that point she'd probably be able to take on a group of students, maybe. Like, I feel like
definitely,
through Kushina she would have met Naruto and she would have made a bond with Naruto and then probably would have wanted to take him on as a student.
But will she... I'm guessing she won't replace Kakashi, though. Or will she?
Maybe not, but we'll see how that goes if we get up to it.
Because...
I mean, it'd certainly be interesting if Anko was Naruto's teacher along with Sakura and Sasuke, if we're going to keep that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would definitely be an interesting thing to talk about. We'll get back to that. And of course, that leads to what happens with Kakashi. So, in the canon, Kakashi basically wallows in his own despair and so on because he's recently lost Minato, who was another father figure for him, and Kushina, who was basically a second mother figure for him.
Yeah.
Since Kushina is still alive, she'd probably be able to help him through it. And of course, Kakashi meets Naruto, they get along, and he probably ends up being better for it. Maybe slightly stronger than canon, but to be fair, that won't be much of a difference. He'd still be pretty powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that affects most of the impact. The third Hokage ends up being the assistant, so he's okay.
Would the third Hokage die or no?
Oh no, he doesn't die just yet. And also, Spoiler.
Well, if they're watching this, I think
they
they're
probably
gonna,
already know.
because
Yeah.
we've just spoiled so much with Minato and Kushina.
So that pretty much covers the people who are impacted immediately. Now let's go on to some other groups. We'll probably be able to cover one more group before we have to end this, and this
Oh
group
yeah.
will most likely be the Uchiha clan. Big surprise,
Oh.
but it'll definitely be interesting. Okay, so this scenario would involve changing what happens to the Uchiha clan. So in my mind, I feel like Kushina would be able to somehow keep the Uchiha clan alive.
What, prevent the
Massacre.
Itachi thing
Yeah,
from
be
happening?
able to prevent that for a while. I mean,
Yeah.
she'd still do her best, and she'd be able to
Mm.
keep them happy for a while. Most likely involve them more into the village, try and break down those barriers.
Mm.
But with this happening, I believe Donzo would definitely jump in this and basically mess it all up.
Well, yeah. Well,
Because-
he messed up in the normal series.
Because in this scenario, Kushina basically spells out that basically an Uchiha did all the damage the Nine Tails did when it was released.
Yeah.
So Donzo would obviously be like, let's annoy those Uchiha guys until they want to kill everyone. That seems like an excellent idea.
Perfect idea.
Yeah, so obviously that would still happen because Donzo is, well, Donzo, he's an ass.
He is
Yeah.
so hated.
But I feel like after that he'd probably just go to sleep, have dreams of just like, get the Uchiha eyes, and just gets up and just like, such a great wet dream.
Oh god.
Yep. Yeah, so,
Lovely.
Yeah, oh, come on, that he probably just creepily stares at Uchiha all the time, like, my god, look at those fancy ass. I must have them.
So he's like Orochimaru, but
Basically, yes.
wanting
but-
them just like
but-
in his arm.
But Donzo isn't very Michael Jackson about it.
Oh god.
Oh my god. Yeah, so,
We got totally off topic then.
yeah, probably.
Stupid Danzo.
Just imagine, like, Orochimaru just one day burst into a room, complete Michael Jackson outfit, and he just goes for it, goes up to Take, picks him up, and then walks away.
That would be great. That.
Oh my god, everyone would just be wondering what the hell's going on, but it would just be so funny.
Yeah, just like, well, a bad person coming in just taking a kid and nah, just let it happen. That happens every day.
You'd probably go with it. You've been hit by a smooth criminal. Oh my god. But yeah, anyway, back on topic. So, obviously, the Uchiha would sort of probably find out about it through, most likely, Itachi. Most likely. So, they would most likely feel pretty, attacked by that. And of course, Uchihas with ruined pride are very, very dangerous indeed. So,
Yeah.
in my mind, despite Kushina's best efforts, I believe the Uchiha would most likely cause a coup anyway, and that coup happens in the village.
But what, like, all the Uchiha's dead.
No, I feel
Or
like
not.
they start the coup, obviously.
Yeah.
They get a few people, most likely. Probably cause quite a few deaths. Sasuke would probably most likely still be at his house sleeping through it all.
Yeah.
Because he most likely doesn't know anything.
But what would Itachi be in this situation?
In this situation, I feel like Itachi and Shisui, who've tried everything, but of course Danzo got in the way and, managed
Oh
to,
yeah.
But he probably managed to take Shisui's eye, one of his eyes.
Yeah, because he gives Itachi the other.
Yeah, but I believe at this point Shisui would still be alive, still kicking.
But only with one eye.
Yeah, I mean,
And that does happen. I don't get why he thought it was all over.
yeah, I mean, he's still got one eye,
And how much you could do, because like Kakashi's only got one Sharingan eye, and look
he
how
can
much
do
he's done.
So much.
He's done so much with that one eye.
Dear God, yeah. So I feel like Itachi and Shisui would most likely switch, would be not switch sides, but be with the village and help stop the Uchiha clan from successfully doing coup.
But that would change a lot about Sasuke as well.
Oh yeah. This would completely change Sasuke's character as well. So of course, the Uchiha clan most likely were all killed for treason, most likely, during the fighting and so on and so forth. Maybe a couple taken prisoner, but you know.
I think there would be more Uchihas alive, because it'd be Sasuke.
More alive than canon, but still most of them have been wiped out. And I feel like during that confusion, Toby would sneak in, probably help out, and probably try for the Nine Tails again.
Yeah,
I feel like
but would he go after
that sort of person
Naruto
who
or Kushina
takes
this time?
advantage of it.
But who would he go after? I'm guessing Naruto, because Kushina is
Most
the
likely,
Hokage and
but
stuff.
again, Kushina would most likely step in,
Yeah,
stop
defend him,
you know, get him out of there. So most likely he doesn't get any Nine Tails chakra at that point. But I feel like during the confusion he would take basically all the important Sharingan eyes, including Shisui's from Danzo. I feel like he'd be able to manage that pretty damn well. So then after all that, after all the fighting's done, the Uchiha clan is basically in shambles at this point. Itachi and Shisui are basically sort of heroes, but again, they'd probably most likely be distrusted because of what happened.
Yeah, no, yeah, well, that'd be, that makes sense,
some, anger with most of the villagers. And then, of course, Itachi tells Sasuke and his entire view of the Uchiha clan being this proud, noble clan is basically in ruins, and I believe from then on he's sort of maybe a little angry at Itachi and Shisui for basically murdering a bunch of the Uchiha clan, and I believe like Itachi and Shisui would most likely go after Itachi's dad as well. Probably end up ending him too, but I think that's how it goes, and it's still Sasuke would probably feel pretty down and angry about that. But I believe that after a while he'd probably go for the whole angle of trying to redeem the Uchiha. So like, yeah, they did this, so I'm going to try and prove that I can be different and do better, and so on and so forth. Same with Shisui and Itachi.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so Sasuke at this point would probably gain some training from Itachi.
Yeah, well, yeah.
when they have time, so he may be a little tougher than Canon. But
yeah, probably because he would actually have somebody like to teach him more about the Sharingan. Like, I know Kakashi did a bit, but he's not a full-bred Uchiha.
Yeah, not like Itachi, and of course Itachi would have the Mangekyo if he did end up fighting his dad and ended up killing him, and probably Shisui at that point as well.
Because Shisui gets it
he got
Danzo,
that way earlier, didn't he?
And then Itachi gets it when Shisui dies.
Yeah, that's in canon, but in this scenario, Shisui is still very much alive, I believe.
Yeah. So
yeah, and I believe Kushina would have been told by them that Shisui's eye was taken by Danzo. Of course, Danzo doesn't have the eye, so he can plead innocence. Kushina obviously doesn't buy it, but can't really do much, so keeps an eye on him for however long. Just goes on from there. So we go up to graduation. Most of the kids probably are out of the whole Uchiha fan club deal. Same with, I think Sakura may still go for Sasuke, but
I think so, because he's just got that edgy, cool look.
Yeah. So
thing.
maybe Sakura is a bit on the fence, but not so much so. Yeah. So graduation. I feel like everyone, because of the coup from the Uchiha clan, would probably be slightly stronger. Because I feel like their family would focus more on their training, so that they buff up. They've seen how bad how some things can go, so they're probably big to
Touch would already have seen that and stuff.
Yeah, like say for Ino, for example, she would probably get out of the whole Uchiha craze pretty damn quickly,
Oh, yeah.
and most likely go more into her training a lot more. So she'd probably be a bit tougher.
Mm.
But yeah, that's more or less it when it comes up to graduation. Like Kushina may have been able to sort things out with the Sand Village, you know?
Yeah.
Like maybe, but for the time being, like we've covered everything that would probably happen inside the village.
Yeah, definitely.
So at this point, the Uchiha clan are most likely, being more or less gone. We've only Sasuke, Itachi, Shisui, and maybe a couple who surrendered and are in jail
I
somewhere.
think I don't get why that. I didn't get really why Itachi killed his mum, so I wouldn't mind her popping, like, still being there.
Honestly, with her character, I can totally see her being sort of like following along just because
Yeah.
everyone else is going to it, and I feel like her character, she's too sweet. So like, if Itachi offered her the chance to, I believe she'd probably go back with the village and probably look after Sasuke as well.
Yeah, and Kushina and Thingy, they did have that funny little moment and stuff.
Those two are complete and utter best friends. So she.
That'd be so
actually,
cool
now
seeing
that
them.
I think about it, is her name Makoto or something?
I'm not too sure.
I think that's her name, but yeah, Sasuke's mother would probably be on the village side now that I think about it. Because with Kushina as a Hokage,
Would she be like Kushina's like right hand man, or would that be more like uncle?
I feel like she'd be like her best friend because we've got Sarutobi as the advisor, but I feel like, yeah, she would probably have her as a friend and a confidant and all that.
Yeah.
Like another advisor or something. Or one of them at least. Yeah. So, yeah, for in the village, him in the leaves, and everything that happens in it, I think we've covered everything that could ripple up to it, that could cause the ripple effect.
Yeah, I think
up
we
to
have.
graduation.
Yeah.
I think we've covered everything.
We might have missed stuff, but
we may have missed stuff, but of course, the guys who are watching this or listening, I guess, can leave something in the comment section below and go from there. But yeah, I think we've covered everything. If people like this, so if you guys like this enough, we'll continue on, see how far we can go with these types of videos if you like them enough, and go from there, really. But yeah, honestly, it's fairly interesting when you do stuff like this, isn't it, Mokuba?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's like seeing what could possibly happen. But yeah, I think we've more or less covered everything leading up to graduation. Obviously, Naruto and all of them, all the main characters graduate with probably stronger skills, most likely.
Yeah.
Mizuki would probably still try and go for the, scroll ceiling. Probably.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Although he probably won't use Naruto to get it.
I doubt it, but then he won't be able to learn the shadow unless Kushina gives.
Kushina. We've already established Kushina would most likely teach him shadow clones.
Yeah. And I think it would be cool as well if Naruto like had one of Minato's kunai, whatever they're called, just to carry around and stuff.
Yeah, I completely feel Kushina would give Naruto one of those, and maybe once he gets smart enough with seals, be able to go into teaching him about it. Yeah. So yeah, I believe that's everything we have time for when it comes to this. Again, thank you guys for watching, listening. And if you guys like it, hit the like button, subscribe. If you want to see more, comment any other situations that you think would be cool to talk about, for us to talk about, or just leave a comment on something you think we may have missed, and we'll try and come around to this again.
Probably quite a bit.
We probably have missed one or two things, but we'll try our best to get round to it again if we have the time. And yeah, for that, thanks for watching. Say bye, Mokuba.
Goodbye.
Adios, amigos.